So please give a great bobcat welcome to your commencement speaker, Congressman Fred Upton.
Well, thank you. It really is a pleasure to be here. And what Dr. Jarpy didn't say was that he was the principal at my elementary school. Now, to be honest, I wasn't a student when he was principal. But we have a very good relationship as he was principal. And I do visit the school. Literally, every single week I average better than a school a week in all my years in the Congress. So this shouldn't be the first time that I've talked and spoken to you graduating seniors today. And as Dr. Jarpy, as John was thinking about those books, and I'm a parent too, and believe me, I believe in reading. And read to my kids as many opportunities as I could. And John, I thought your book was not going to be the Dr. Seuss book, but Pat the Bunny. That was my guess. As the book that I read a lot to my kids. But man, time goes by so fast, doesn't it? It really does. I mean, for me, this is my 40th. Hard to say that. I don't even think I'm 40 years old. It is my 40th high school reunion this year. My class is getting together the next couple of weeks, and as Dennis said, I haven't seen some of my fellow graduates probably since that day back in 1971. It just hasn't happened, as we've scattered literally all around the country, even though I'm still here at home. So as you think about those days, and I think about my high school commencement, I couldn't tell you, I can remember that it was a man that spoke at my high school reunion, or my high school graduation, but I couldn't tell you a word that he said. I think I actually took notes and put them in my high school yearbook. Maybe I should dust that off in the next couple of weeks to figure out who it was, but I can't remember who it was or what he said. And so I won't fault you if 40 years from now, you'll say, who was that spoke at my graduation? But it's not about me. This graduation is about you. It's about you and your families, and certainly the things that have to come by that way. And as the father of a young man, my son, who was in your seat just a year ago, I know how excited you must be to have completed this so important milestone as you have become anxious to move forward to the next stage of your life. I can also tell you that it is a very momentous day for your families, your parents, and your relatives, your brothers and sisters, yes, your cousins, but certainly your teachers as well, who have watched you from the first day they let you off at the door of the school. They are so proud of you and what you've done over the years to reach this accomplishment. The lessons that you've learned, that you've overcome, and the mature ways in which you have grown in so many facets. But as I know that they know, and you should know, this is only the beginning. There are going to be a lot of new lessons to learn, unforeseen obstacles to surmount, exciting opportunities to embrace that will change your life and maybe change the course of history for our great country. And right now, as some of you are preparing to further your formal education, maybe it's a university or a college, maybe it's a community college here in our backyard, maybe you're going to serve in the military, remembering that we are a free nation because of our brave. Maybe some of you are ready to join the workforce right away, where you're going to learn certainly great important skills and tackle real-world responsibilities and move up that economic ladder. In any event, I've learned that life often throws you a curveball. It'll change the course or direction of perhaps what you might have wished. I know as a student myself, I never, ever thought I would be an elected official. Like you, I studied American history and government, but the possibility of serving in the United States Congress never, ever crossed my mind. And as I prepared to graduate from the University of Michigan, I thought my future was going to be what my major was, journalism. I thought it would be great to cover the Irish, or the Cubs, the Tigers, the Bears, the Red Wings. That's how I wanted to spend my time. But instead, there are a whole number of different opportunities that opened the door. After graduating, I got involved in the political campaign. I found myself going to Washington for the first time ever, living with a guy right from Niles, who was my roommate for a number of years. I remember working on my resume on Thanksgiving Sunday, thinking I was ready for a new challenge. Sunday afternoon, and the phone rang, and I can remember it like it was yesterday. Answered the phone, and this voice said at the other end of the line, "This is Ronnie Reagan." I said, "I know, sir. Congratulations." He was not yet sworn in as president. And I said to myself then, maybe I should have asked him if I should just send my resume right to his attention, or brought it up, because that's where I ended up ultimately working, at the White House. But so even though I didn't stay as a sports journalist, my love for sports has always stayed with me. And this guy back here, I think, beat me in the high school, or in the college picks that we do in the Daily Star every year. But I got his number for next year, so Dennis, look out. But as an ardent Cubs fan, one learns some pretty hard life lessons. You don't always win. Sometimes you never do. As they say, if you're a Cubs fan, it has been a terrible century. So not only the importance of hard work, but also the humility of being able to get back up again and again and again to try and do the right thing and to succeed. So I want to challenge you. My little lesson today is I want to challenge you with an inspiring story from America's favorite pastime, and that is baseball. For those of you who are not avid baseball fans, a perfect game in the major leagues, or any baseball game, is when the pitcher throws all 9 innings and not a single person gets on base. There are no hits, no errors, no hits batsmen, no walks. Nobody gets on base. It is incredibly hard to get done, particularly in the major leagues. And to put it in perspective, there have been more than 400,000 Major League Baseball games. Only 20 pitchers have thrown a perfect game. And last year, 2010, a great pitcher for the Tigers, Armando Galarraga, was well on his way to become the 21st pitcher to ever throw a perfect game. I remember that night. I was listening on the radio in Kalamazoo that night. But there was a bad call in the 9th inning. A veteran umpire made a call on a Cleveland Indian that was trying to get to first base, and he called him safe when he was out. And the perfect game was over. Coaches, teammates, fans, the country, they were outraged and disappointed. They knew what this meant. Galarraga would have reached with similar, should have maybe reacted with similar anger and frustration after missing the chance to really make history and a spot in the Hall of Fame. But instead, you know what he did? He shrugged off the call of the ump. He said, "Nobody's perfect." That was his answer. Now, most people would have expected him and the umpire, Jim Joyce, to have a pretty bitter relationship the rest of their time. But you know what? They proved that forgiveness and humility are far more important than the outcome of a sports game. So Brandywine class of 2011, as you pursue your dreams, remember that true success is found in reacting with integrity rather than animosity to unexpected adversity. And when life does throw, and believe me it will, throw a few curveballs your way, I want you to respond with a smile and a shrug and acknowledge that nobody's perfect and life goes on and you're going to try to make it better. So I wish you all the very best of luck in your future endeavors. I want to again congratulate you on a job well done. And for one last time, I want to tell you, go Bobcats. God bless.
Thank you, Congressman Upton.